When to sell your shares in your dividend oriented portfolio. Largely when we invest, we are looking at creating a dividend stream of income for the rest of our lives. So if that is the purpose, then where is the question of selling the shares? I mean, all your like Buffett says, everything should be dated forever. If you have companies which have not cut dividend in 30 years, 40 years, and they've always paid dividend, then you should look at a company and worry about it only and only if the dividend is slashed or the company is frozen the dividend for whatever reasons. But that is a time when you should not be selling the share, you should be seeing what is happening. The other reason to sell a share is when you feel that company is misallocating capital or whatever other reasons. Then you feel that, okay, I'm not happy with what it is doing with its money and therefore I will get out. That's a completely different call, which is not based on the dividend but based on the other fundamental factors of the company for whatever reasons. For example, if you're holding PSUs and the government decides that they will sell the PSUs, you will see a spurt in the PSU prices. That may be a great opportunity to sell and wait and find other companies with better dividend yields. And if you bought a share for 60 rupees which has gone to 180 rupees on one announcement, it's a fantastic time to book your profits. So that apart. Other thing is another problem as I have faced is when you trap yourself into believing that you are a dividend oriented investor. So I bought Apollo Hospital at 9 rupees and odd, and then held it for it to reach a price of about 140. At 140, I said there is no dividend yield in this company, so this company price cannot go up, and therefore I sold. I completely forgot that the company will now get re-rated as a retail company, and it went from 1400 to from 140 to 1400. I participated in it intermittently, but it was no longer a part of my core dividend portfolio. That's a huge mistake. In fact, I've done a video on my mistakes in value investing, and this is one of the big mistakes. Don't get trapped into believing that because you're a value investor, the PE should be low and the dividend yield should be high. Yes, in an ideal situation, yes. If you're a fund manager, maybe yes. But remember, as a retail investor, what you're trying to maximize is the cash flow from your portfolio without touching the portfolio itself. So you want to touch the portfolio itself maybe only when you're 90, or you say, I've created so much dividend cash flow that I need not touch the original corpus, and my original corpus can become a dividend machine for my son or his son or whoever is there. That kind of a machine when you're creating, I don't see any reason to sell. But extraneous, these could be the reason, or some share getting to be too big. If it has become 20% of your portfolio, you want to reduce the risk, so maybe you will sell and buy something else. Or generally you will start shrinking the size of that particular holding, saying at least to the extent that I get dividend, I'll sell shares also. So if you get 1 lakh of dividend from that company, or 50,000 rupees dividend from that company, you say, I will not only not buy, but I will also sell worth 50,000. So I will realize 1 lakh from that company and invest it somewhere. That's the only way to reduce the weightage of some shares which could just run amok in your portfolio. If say originally HDFC Bank was 2.5% of your portfolio, it may have suddenly gone to 30% of your portfolio. You don't want that to happen. Therefore, you will keep trimming some of the winners. It also sounds very weird, and it also sounds like what Peter Lynch said, plucking the flowers and watering the weeds. Don't do that. So you have to strike a fine balance between concentration, between keeping the winners and selling the losers, collecting the dividend and reinvesting in the same company. Between all this, you have to find your golden mean. Don't take one particular formula and say this is what will work. There is no such thing. There is no holy grail in investing, and less so in dividend oriented investing. However, sometimes you might find a fantastic opportunity of a company which is giving you very good returns, etc., good potential, That's a time when you may decide that your number of shares which you held, 40 so far, should remain 40 or should become 39. So you will sell off something and buy this. So you will largely sell a share when it is not being run well, which is fairly obvious, which means there's misallocation of capital or things like that, or they've announced projects which you think is beyond the capacity of the management. When dividends are slashed or dividends are frozen, however, that is not the reason to sell. Right. So when dividends are frozen because the government has put, let's say you hold a sugar company and the government suddenly puts a ban on sugar exports and therefore sugar companies can't pay dividend. That's still fine. You don't have to do anything because they will get into some other, they will come out of it eventually. It's not a fault of the company. It is just some governmental diktat. Don't sell after this has been announced because the market would have priced it already. But if you think that the government is going to ban and you therefore want to get out of the commodity like sugar, that's fine. Or you want to get out of a commodity like sugar because the sugar is at its peak and it's you're getting peak valuation for a sugar company. Exactly the reverse when you could be getting the bottom valuation of a sugar company or a fertilizer company, and that would be the time to be buying. So switching can happen, bad management, you can sell off the company, sell off partially to reduce the weight. So these are all reasons why you would sell. So be careful, don't get trapped like I got trapped into saying I'm a value investor, I cannot hold on to such a company. Because I also realize that a lot of the value of every company, like currently say a Vodafone, a lot of the value of that company is going to be unlocked by the growth that it plans to do. Same thing for say an IDFC First or an Yes Bank or any of those. You are not looking at the current position, you are looking at what that company can achieve in the future, immediate future and in the long future. Based on that you are buying and holding. Thank you.